Hey guys, so welcome to the channel. I'm in the garage again today doing a little bit of maintenance on the car. So it is turbo now with the SPD 500X kit, and I just realized that I have a coolant leak coming out from here. The cause of it was the hose that actually comes from here to there got brittle over time because of the heat probably, and it just kind of snapped off. I'll show you guys that bit. This one too, when I was trying to pull it out, it just kind of snapped off. So if you guys can see over here, this is the original hose that I was using, and this thing is so brittle, just kind of like tears apart. Can't even bend it anymore. So if you guys are doing regular maintenance, be sure to check the coolant, because that is an important aspect of the turbo kit. Good for cooling, and if you have a bunch of coolant leak in your engine bay, that's also bad because it can start fires and other problems. So I am going to be using this new heater hose that I got off Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description. So it is specifically for coolant and I think oil, fuel too, depending. There's a range of temperature that it's for, so make sure to look out for that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the link just to make sure, just for people who probably need another set. Help you guys find it. So yeah, it's a 6 feet hose, so I'm gonna be cutting this up to length. And apart from that, since I am taking out the throttle body, I went ahead and took off all my charge pipe just so I can wrap them in gold reflective tape. There is an ongoing mixed review regarding reflective tape, either if it works or it doesn't work. In this case, my charge pipe were basically kind of scratched up and just look ugly in the engine bay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those reflective tape just for aesthetic looks rather than performance. Hopefully it does have some performance gains, lowering the intake air temperatures, but other than that, it's more for aesthetics really. Maybe in the future I can go ahead and repaint them, but for now, gold tape is something I have, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And another thing that I will be trying to do is, as you guys can see, I have the throttle body off here. I want to be able to put the coolant lines, or I want to be able to redo the coolant lines for the turbo. So originally it comes into the throttle body, and what that usually does is it heats up the throttle body, and then of course the hotter the air that goes in the engine, the lower the performance of it will be. So what I heard is to actually have this line go up to the turbo here, and actually have this line feed through back there, and just kind of put a hard line on it to make it more efficient. I'm gonna show you guys the throttle body and then show you guys what I mean. So onto the throttle body. So this is the throttle body right here. Originally turbo coolant feed would go on to here and then out there. So as you guys can see, it does heat up the throttle body. That's more specifically for cars that live in colder climate, because you need that source of heat whenever it's cold, maybe around -20 degrees Celsius, because it does freeze up the throttle body itself. So by doing so, running the coolant on here kind of melts it out. But then again, I am in California, so I don't really need that, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete that, bypass it. Probably just plug these, that should be it, and then connect this coolant line hose directly in the back of the engine block, which I'm going to be showing you guys that there. And like I said, as far as like my charge pipes, you can see they're all scratched up. The other charge pipes are actually a lot worse than this, and I finished wrapping those, so they came out good. Give you guys a little bit of a tip on how to do these. Look at that. Not a lot of wrinkles like a lot of people see online. So definitely a lot better than a scratched up charge pipe for sure. I got 2 of that. Yeah, I'll show you guys that in a bit. So as far as the hard line, all you have to do is follow this line here, and I've followed it all the way through, and it is gonna be this hose right over here, right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one here. I'm gonna go ahead and take off that clamp there, pull it out, and we will go from there. So I do take that back. I'm not gonna go ahead and take off this hose, just so that if I ever need to go back to stock, or I need those lines routed to, I can easily put them back. So instead, what I did was buy this connector here, which is I'm gonna put that in there, and that's gonna go ahead and go into the turbo feed here. So this is wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, put this in there, route it here, and that's your turbo feed. And the other line here is actually your output. So it's better that way because as coolant is coming in, the turbo spinning, I guess you could say this way, water comes out this way and drains it. So yeah. In addition to that, I am also going to be changing my boost control lines to a much thicker line rather than forcing this in there, just to help it have more consistent of pressure so that it can function probably better, who knows. But as far as length, I think I'm going to leave it on the back of the block, because I did hear other people their experience on putting it near the turbo, it's going to get heated up and it's going to basically die faster. So I'm just gonna get those thicker lines routed out there on the back, and that should still be good to go. Now lastly, I did notice a leak on my blow off valve here. Now it's not leaking as far as like opening when idling, but there's a leak right over here where it seals up. So what I found is that there wasn't an O-ring in there where it shouldn't have had one. So right now I've kind of just gotten an O-ring off somewhere. It doesn't really fit that well, so it's probably still, or it might not be leaking. But I went ahead and ordered the O-ring that's supposed to be for that blow up valve. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. Hopefully the leak will be gone by then. And also a good tip is, since everything's already off, if you guys ever get to this point, I did go ahead and check my clamp down here for a vacuum leak, and it's still tight like how I left it, but it doesn't hurt to kind of check around to see and make sure that everything is in there properly. Also, the two vacuum lines down there that usually pop off when they're not clamped still good, so I checked that just in case. And also check your other hoses. Some people have cracking hose here where it starts leaking from, like tends to create a hole because of the heat, makes everything a little brittle. So check around and just do regular maintenance on the car, hoses and stuff, clamps. Just make sure that it runs nice and healthy. Alright, so I got my coolant lines all fixed up. So again, the feed goes into here, this goes there, out over here, cools the turbo. Since turbo spinning, or bearings are spinning that way, it'll go out here and onto the block. So there you guys have it for the coolant. And I'm gonna go ahead and plug in those two holes that are in the throttle body. I'm gonna show you guys that. So here is the throttle body. Again, that inlet port goes onto here originally, and out goes to the turbo and then into the block. But in this case, I'm just gonna cap these off. I did get a cap on AutoZone like these. They're not the perfect size. They're supposed to be 5/16, but the best I could find is the 3/8 one. So it works. A little loose though, so plug that in, clamp it, and you should be good to go. Both of them. And you could leave them, technically you can leave them unplugged, but I'm only doing that because I don't want any kind of dirt or things to build up in there, so just in case kind of thing. But yeah, plug those in and you should be good to go. And before putting this in, I am going to be cleaning it a little bit, just for a little bit peace of mind, all the dirt that builds up in there. But yeah, as far as the coolant system or coolant lines, that should be good. Alright, so throttle body is in place. Seems like everything's gonna fit in there. Also capped them right over here and here. Don't forget to put in your throttle body wiring harness, and that should be it. Alright you guys, so as far as wrapping the intercooler pipings, you guys can see here I have them done, except the filter side. I'll do that in a bit. But a couple of tips I would give is I am using a DEI reflective gold wrap, so design engineer, not the cheap kind, so I went with the middle tier just because I don't want to redo this again after putting it on. It is kind of a hassle to do. So as far as tips on doing this with minimal wrinkle, like you guys see online, there's a couple of people that just kind of wrap this around like so and then kind of go around. I actually cut the strips individually, so one thing to do is to actually get a blue tape or of any kind, like a white even. You can then put that into any of the intercooler piping and actually get an idea of the length that you would need. So you take that, match it along with this right here and cut it. In this case, for me at least, the best way is to actually cut. This is a 2-inch tape, so I cut it in half, which would make it 1 inch right here. That's for the straight alongs. But as far as the the bends here, I would actually cut it another half, so half an inch, to get the bends here properly, like this one's right here. See that? So it turned out really nice. As you guys can see, I like that little pattern there. So with a little bit of persuasion and a little bit of cutting around places, you could get something like this. And then lastly, there is to kind of wrapping these pipings here. It's overlapping and underlapping. So overlapping is something like this. If you were looking at it in this view here, it would actually flow through right there. So the tape here is actually above the one behind it, so it makes it kind of more pleasing in the eye compared to underlapping, which is this way. You would see the lines here going that way. But in my case, since I'm looking at my car this way, I chose the overlapping method just to give it a little bit more pleasing look for all of the intercooler pipings. Before wrapping it though, I did clean them up with soap and warm water just to get any dirt or grease off the piping themselves. And then there is also something you can buy, a adhesive spray that I didn't get because I didn't really know it existed. But if you want it to last a little bit longer and lessen the risk of it coming off, you could always spray that beforehand and start taping everything out. So one final look, the bottom, I also put a strip here just to help it from kind of getting loose, so you guys can see right there. So what matters most is on the top part, or actually the viewing angles you want to do, so just make sure you do those good. And then as far as the other side, doesn't really matter so long as you kind of put something on it to hold everything in place, and it should be good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and install all of this in the car, and I'm actually excited to see how it looks. Alright you guys, so here is the review, and here you guys have it. That looks really good. So I still do have that one to go, but I didn't quite finish it yet because I was so excited to see how it looks like, and not bad. It'll probably look better with a clean engine bay, but that'll probably happen somewhere later on. But so far, as far as the viewing angles, looks really good. Obviously, these are usually what you will see in engine bay, but there you go. I did that too, just because, might as well, right? But yeah, I like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that and change out the O-ring on that blow-up valve, and finally do my boost control with stuff too. Oh, I did forget to mention another thing that I kind of upgrading is these clamps right here, hose clamps. So they're they're called T clamps, are much better looking than these ones right here. Probably seals better too, so I went ahead and got those for all the hoses that I have. So yeah, again, all the stuff I'm going to be using in this video, I'm going to go ahead and link that in the description down below, so no worries on that. Yeah, it's looking really good in there. Alright you guys, so as far as the blow-up valve, this is the temporary fix that I had in there. So as you guys can see, it's not really, or it's probably not well sealed. It was a whole gasket like this, so it was a solid one with a small hole right here. So what I did was kind of just cut all around it. So I ran that for a week because it did take a while to find the right O-ring that I needed for this, and finally found out that this is the part number for it. So if you guys ever need one, that is it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and link that in the description too. But yeah, I'm gonna put that in, seal it up, and then test for leaks. Alright, so moving on to the boost controller. As you guys can see, I already have it down here. Not too bad. To take these old ones off, it's just a 10mm, or actually 11mm socket. So you can use whatever you can. And I just used that wrench and this here for leverage. Put that in there and figure out they are in there kind of tight. And then to do and then as for the replacement fittings here, these are 1/8 male MPT, so something along these lines that would go up to connected to a 1 1/4 hose, so inner diameter. The same one for over here, just so I have a 90-degree bend right over here, just like this one. So I'll thread those in. Use a little bit of I have right here high performance thread sealant. You can use Teflon tape, but I'd prefer to use this one because it's a lot easier to put in. And finally, I got my 1/4 inner diameter hose here. Fits perfectly. I've really tried it. Put these all together, and that should be it for the boost controller. Alright, so there you guys have it. Looks a lot better too. Maybe I should have gotten this one and put a filter on it sooner, but I'll do that in the future anyway. Easy enough. But as far as this, it doesn't have to be threaded all the way in, just like these ones right here. As long as you have the perfect seal, some kind of sealant in there, and it's tight enough, it should be good to go. Last but not least is to cut the hose to length, and that should be it for the for this one. Put it back in the car, and it should be good to go. Alright, so that should be it for the boost controller. Bigger hoses actually looks better in the engine bay. Yeah, got it routed down here, down there, all the way back over there, all plugged in. And the last thing I should do now is probably change the oil, and that should be it for as far as maintenance and what I had to do in the weekend. So yeah.